Joined now by St. John Sea Dogs head coach Greg Gilbert in his first year in the QMJHL. Greg, welcome to the QMJHL. You've been here for a few months now. I've asked all the coaches about this. Tell us about the process of starting this season and how unusual training camp was this season.
Well, first of all, thanks for the warm welcome, Pat. I appreciate it. It's nice to be out here working for a great organization. It's been fun, but it's been really strange. The one thing is we've had lots of practice time. I think one of the things where, I don't know if most teams, obviously a couple of teams at the top haven't found this as an issue, but you'd always like to have more game time. And it's one thing to have a lot of practice time. We've had 2 games obviously postponed with Moncton that are going to be made up at a later date, but we really need game time to get our game going. And we've been working hard in practice. The kids have been working hard. Obviously, our record isn't where we want it to be, but it's been good practice time, good off-ice training time. But now we got to get into the games. We got to get into a routine of playing as often as we can and get our game legs and our game timing down, and then things will fall into place.
This is a St. John team that's been known for its offensive prowess the last couple of years. How much emphasis have you put on shoring up the defensive side of the game in your time in St. John?
Actually, a fair amount. We knew before I got out here to St. John, I had a few of the games from last year sent to me, and I watched them, and there were some things to be desired there defensively for sure. And we've cut down a lot of shots per game. We're still giving up some chances that we have to correct, and some areas we got to clean up. But we're seeing a lot of progress. We're getting a lot of grade A opportunities creating on the offensive side. We're just not finishing right now. And you look at our numbers, and some of the guys that we were expecting to be finishers this year are having a hard time finding the back of the net. I would be concerned if we weren't creating the opportunities. We did put a fair amount of focus on the defensive side of the game and getting these guys to understand that the more efficient we are at it, the more we're going to be playing with the puck in the offensive zone. It's a work in progress for sure, because there's a lot of these things that I'm teaching these guys that they haven't ever seen before, to be quite honest with you, or been asked to do. So it is a work in progress, Pat. We still have a lot of work to do.
Interesting situation in goal where Creed Jones kind of gets the ball, but you ended up going through 3 20-year-old netminders during a training camp. Tell us about his journey to St. John and how he's adjusted, and walk us through that whole process on landing on a starting goalie.
You'd have to ask Trevor Georgie about that. Trevor was the one that was behind that deal and pulled the trigger on it, and he wanted an experienced goalie that has been through the battles in the Quebec League to help with the growth of Noah Patno. Noah's been playing very well, and Creed had, I don't want to say a tough time, but he had to quarantine in Quebec, and then he had to quarantine when he came out here, and hadn't played a game in like 5 or 6 months. So it was a tough start for him, but he's been working hard as of late, and his game's starting to come around. So we're looking to have 2 solid goaltenders that we can call on any time.
You have obviously just been in the Q for a few months now, but have you noticed any differences in terms of the style as opposed to being in the OHL when you coach with Saginaw?
Not really. I haven't obviously had the experience of going out to the Quebec side and seeing how those teams are playing. I think they're a little more offensive, but the Maritime teams that we're playing, everybody's competing. It's a hard-fought battle every night. It's not wheel and deal. It's a good, solid defensive game. It's a hard-hitting game. It's a high-tempo game, and it's great to play teams that are consistently playing that way because it helps us hone our game and get it to where it needs to be. The Maritime Division is going to be a hard-fought, highly contested division.
No easy games here for sure. I wanted to ask about Alex Drover. He used to play here in Cape Breton. It seems like he's off to a good start to the season. Tell us about his play.
Alex has been pretty good. We've had some video sessions. We're working together with him one-on-one, and his game's coming around. Got a great shot. There's some things we got to work on with him, but he's a hard-working kid. He wants to expand his role. We've had that conversation, and if he continues to keep working and playing the way he is, those roles will expand, and that's what he's looking at. I think that's what every player is looking for, is for an expanded role, but he's been good for us. He's been working hard, like I said, and he's got a heck of a shot. He can finish, and we're hoping to see more of that as the season goes on.
Finally, looking ahead to tonight's game against the Cape Breton team. It's the first time you've played in the regular season, but you did see the Eagles in preseason. What do you know about them? And maybe you have some familiarity with the Eagles coach, Jake Grimes, from the Ontario days.
Yes, I do. I saw Jake prior to the preseason game there, and yeah, he's a good man, good coach, and Cape Breton's like everybody else. They work hard, they compete, and they've got good pieces of the puzzle in place, and they're coming off obviously tough from the last time they played, but they'll be fired up and ready to go against us come Friday night. So we don't expect anything short of their best, and when they're at their best, they're a tough opponent. We have to be in our game to come out of that with 2 points.
We look forward to seeing it play out this evening. Thanks for this, Greg. Best luck this season.
I appreciate it, Pat. Thank you very much, and all the best to you.